What's up, guys? Today I want to talk about something that's very important. What if you're a complete noob at takedowns, but you want to get better at wrestling and do so safely? This is particularly important, if you've never done takedowns before, you've never done any grappling martial art that starts from the feet. If you're older and you're afraid of the injury risk that comes with training takedowns, how can you do it safely? Well, that's a great question. And basically what I want to say is, first, you should become extremely competent at break falling. And before you even start drilling any takedowns, you should know how to fall in every direction. You should know how to do back break falls, side falls, and front falls. Front falls being pretty easy, but regardless, you should be good at doing all of those things before you start repping your takedowns, okay? And this works in stages. Once you become competent at break falling, then you start repping takedowns on completely unresisting opponents, getting those moves in your Rolodex. Now, I start doing this drill pretty early on with my students. Once I've seen them break fall and I know that they can do it properly, the drill that I use now, and shout out to Bill Murphy for giving me this idea. I think it's a fantastic drill that I don't know if he came up with or he took it from somebody else, but I'm giving him credit because he's the one who told me. Give your training partner hard resistance when it comes to the hand fighting, okay? So if I'm trying to work takedowns with somebody else, we will have a system wherein I go 2 or 3 times and then they go 2 or 3 times. We're going to be resisting each other hard with the hand fighting. Like, we're both going to be snapping collar ties, punching for underhooks, trying to snap each other down, faking level changes, but we are both going to know who is actually going to initiate the takedown. And once that person initiates the takedown, the other person stops all resistance and they completely focus on falling. So why does this work? Well, injuries in wrestling don't happen in the grip fighting stage unless you do something stupid and you collide heads, or something like that, okay? They almost never happen in the hand fighting stage where people are pummeling for grips and initial positioning to initiate their takedowns. The injuries always happen when they're resisting takedowns. When one person initiates a takedown, the other person resists. Either they get into a scramble or the other person resists poorly without regard for their own body, and that's when injuries happen, okay? The way to prevent that is from having people do this drill for several months until they're extremely competent at falling from every kind of takedown that there is. So they'll have been exposed to many different kinds of takedowns that their partners will have done to them, and they'll know how to fall from them. And they'll have a much better idea of how to defend those takedowns properly without putting themselves or their training partners at risk, okay? So you take a new white belt, you do this drill with them for 6 months, maybe a little bit more, but this kind of drill with them for 6 months. They'll have basic takedowns that they're now competent with, they'll be decent at hand fighting, and they'll know how to get to the position where they need to initiate takedowns. And they've done all of this with an extremely low injury risk because the other person is not resisting them once they initiate. They're just focusing on falling. That makes it very easy for neither party to get hurt, okay? So becoming familiar with multiple takedowns over time, doing this drill is going to make it so that 6 months after you start, you can live wrestle and you'll have a good idea of how to scramble safely without hurting yourself or without hurting your training partner. So for noobs, for white belts, or advanced belts that have never really worked wrestling into their game, this is a fantastic drill that you can do. Do this for several months. I promise you your takedown game will substantially improve. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Do you have a friend out there that sucks at takedowns? Your butt scooter friend that doesn't know how to stand up at all? Share this video with them. Tell them they need to work their takedowns. It's super important, guys. It's literally the first step of jiu-jitsu. If you can't take the fight to the ground on your own terms, then your jiu-jitsu really only works if your opponent decides to take the fight to the ground, and often they will not. So make sure that you are competent at takedowns. If you like the video, make sure you smash that thumbs up button, subscribe if you're new, click that notification bell so you guys get notified when we have new videos coming out. Thanks a lot. I'll see you next time.